Now, let's get to the start line again. Our big final race of the day is the senior men's 12-kilometre race featuring Mo Farah amongst others. So it's back to our commentators, Jeff Whiteman and Stuart Story.
Well, we've seen Mo. This is Andy Vernon wearing the white and green of Hampshire. Vernon will attempt to defend his title. Mo Farah will attempt to come back from what has been a poor start to the season for him. He suffered from an iron deficiency. We probably heard him say that earlier on, and that deficiency caused him to falter in the Edinburgh International race on the 9th of January. He was third in that over 4 kilometres, and 4 kilometres is in his territory. He was beaten by a 1500-metre man. So, and there is Andy Vernon right at the very start of this race, right in the middle of the picture, and we'll see how he goes on this. But I have a feeling that Mo's not going to have it all his own way here. It's going to be a real race, this, because Andy Vernon's in very, very good form indeed, I can tell you. He's been running so well. He won the National, but let's talk a little bit more about him later. But certainly we've got a field here where we've got the Tweldy, Volder Michael and Mengistab, who are the Eritreans, who will certainly be making their presence felt in the early stages of the race. They always do, and then they tend to falter a little bit towards the end. But this is a big field, but the principals will want to be at the front, and they will want to establish a rhythm of the race.
Well, yeah, I think you're absolutely right about the form and confidence issue around Andy Vernon. He was featured in this week's Athletics Weekly. He's had a consistent few years of training. He's got his head down after a bit of a lackadaisical approach to it, perhaps through his teens. But he is in red-hot form on all surfaces. And Mo Farah had that little wobbling confidence the way that he ran in the cross-country in Edinburgh. And this is the first time we've seen him since. And he's... well, he's loitering back in about 15th or 20th place. By the way, apologies Essex for crediting Jessica Judd as being Thurrock when she is, of course, from the mighty Chelmsford. So well done, Chelmsford, for a title there.
Big field. This the early start. It's 4 laps of 3 kilometres, making the 12 kilometres in all. And that is testing. There's no question about that. And what we want to see here is a real go at running fast in this race, because that's what they're going to have to do in the World Championships. Let's have a look at the course. And it is a challenging course. Most of it, a lot of that uphill part, the first from the start right to the top of the hill is a slight incline. A little bit of a downhill, flat part, and then it's uphill again. It's undulating, rhythm sapping, demanding in every sense. Firm underfoot, yes. Quick, yes. Similar to what they will meet in Bydgoszcz in a couple of weeks' time. But what we wanted to see here is a real race, and a race which gives us some sort of feeling that the Africans can be challenged in this competition.
Yes, it's by the way, our leader is Tom Humphries, who's a little bit of a blast from the past, has performed well at this event. Bit extravagant, 3 minutes into the race, given the calibre of athletes that he's got behind him. But this course has held up really well, Stuart. I mean, we've recognised where its strengths and weaknesses and particular challenges are, but underfoot, it's been brilliant. I mean, you think of how many laps have been run on it now, and it still looks in very good nick. And it is a fair test of what lies ahead, I think, in Poland, and most years for a world cross-country, which tend to go to showgrounds or ornamental parks or things like that.
What a lovely shot that is as they snake round that bend at this big, big field. And you're right, Mo was sitting back in the midst of that field, and we watched Tom Humphries win a couple of years ago this race. He dominated the race on that occasion, and really, it'll be good to see him back. We haven't seen much of him, really, and I just wonder whether he'll have the pace and the strength, endurance to stay with this field when it starts to emerge. Because remember, 4 laps this is early, this is the testing lap, this is the lap at which they'll be finding their feet, they'll be getting into the race, but it won't start evolving until halfway or there, unless something very strange happens. We'll see that, though.
Well, I can see, oh, there's a fall, or was it just somebody caught their arm on it? The danger is that you just get nudged into those tapes on the sharper turns. It looks as though there was a little bit of a wide berth taken by somebody. Mo Farah is back down in around 20th there. I mean, I'm not just sure, you can never be quite sure with Mo. He can toy with fields on occasions, but would have thought this is one where don't know. He knows he's up against one or two runners in hot form. Moomin Gill, I think it is, with the bobble hat in second place. I can see Mike Skinner in the blue of Kent. That's Andy Vernon on the outside, giving a wide line in the white with the green band from Hampshire. You can see the tapes actually lie inside the line of some of those stakes, which are flexible for obvious reasons. And one or two runners just cut it a little bit fine on the tangents.
Yeah, you're right. Moomin Gill it is, and he was second in the English National. He's here as a wild card. He's a Newman Essex Beagle athlete, coached by Mick Woods again. He's got quite a big stable here on this day, and he's a real talent, and he could well cause a few problems in this race as well. He was second in the Hooper Great Yorkshire 10K in September last year. Was fourth in that 5K, if you remember, in Regent's Park. He's got plenty of speed. He's in second place behind Humphries at the moment. Farah is further back in the field. I can see Andy Vernon on the right.
There's Mo, and look at that. He's in amongst the fellas that use the elbows, and he's got the talent, you know, to just slice his way through the field if he's at his best. But this is, well, he's only giving away perhaps 5 or 6 seconds there, so perhaps it's just canny rather than indifferent at the moment.
I'll go with canny at the moment, but because it is very, very early. I mean, this 12-kilometre race is a long, long way to go. And it will be very, very interesting to see. We're just about 1,000 metres gone. There it is, 10K to go. So we've got more than half an hour of running to go in here.
We've actually got a few sort of expat types. Moomin Gill is a Somalian awaiting British status. You've got the 2 Eritreans running for Scotland West who stayed over after the World Cross Country on an asylum-seeking basis from Edinburgh in 2008. They're not yet eligible for Great Britain. And of course, Mo Farah himself was a Somalian refugee back in the 90s. So the sort of East African influence on this race is there.
Well, you know, we've mentioned Andy Vernon before. He's representing Hampshire here. He's defending his title, and he's in very, very good form. And, well, we had a chance to chat to him before the race.
Well, Andy, it's a big day. You're defending champion. How are you feeling ahead of the endeavour?
Yeah, I feel good. I've had a good week and eased down nicely, and yeah, I feel good today. Ready to rock and roll.
And what would be success for you? So obviously there's the World Cross. How important is it defending your title?
Yeah, defending the title is that's the main aim today. I really would like to do that. There's probably not many people in the past that have defended their title, so I would like to do that. But today there's Mo Farah's in the race, so it's going to be a bit harder than usual to do it. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
And what do you make of the course? So I'm sure you've been round, you've kind of assessed things, you've checked out your race line. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a good course. It's very undulating but very firm at the same time. So yeah, it suits me quite well. Yeah.
And what's going to be your secret weapon during the race?
I don't know. I really don't know at the moment. It could be patience. It could be an explosive mid-race blast. I'm not sure yet.
Sounds like it's going to be agility. Good stuff, and best of luck.
Well, Moomin Gill up there, and I mentioned that the Eritreans who stayed over from the World Cross Country Championships, a couple of seasons or so ago, Volder Michael and Mengistab, they are there in the light blue vests. They're running for the Shettleston Harriers Club. Eritreans they are. They're always in that leading group, and that looks like Mick Skinner in that group as well. A familiar figure in the dark blue strip and the black shorts.
Tweldy, who runs for the Scotland West team, actually had some shrapnel removed surgically from a mine explosion from his Eritrean days, only around about January time. So he lost, obviously, training time around that. But Shettleston have kept that.